Good evening and welcome to Jim Only's World Weather. You clicked on to long range weather forecast discussion for November 2nd to the 14th. The operational models are depicting an amplified pattern with a trough in the west and a ridge over the east, more like over the southeast. Here's our trough here. Now, the Canadian and the Europeans are depicting more of a zone of flow you can see across this area here. This is centered 102 hours on November 3rd, and then we go out further 108 hours with the Canadian Sea zone of flow, and then we go out 114 hours. And 132 hours. This is towards the end of the period. This is the fourth. See more of a zone of flow going across here. Oops. What happened to the map? Okay, more of a zone of flow, especially across the northeast. This is our trough here in the west. Now, if we look at the European, same hour, this is 102 hours of the European run. Shows pretty much the same thing. Here's our ridge. Shows a more amplified ridge over here over the southeast. Now, if we go back a little bit, I would say maybe 96 hours in the European. See, more of a zone of flow going across this area. Now, if we look at the ensembles, this is the GFS ensembles at the same hour, 96 hours, centered on the 3rd. And you can see it's still the zone of flow, but it doesn't have the trough here. And then we go out to 120 hours. And still it shows a deep trough. Now, during this period, a front and associated trough will push into the west and bring enhanced precipitation and winds to the northwest during the weekend, and colder air will follow, resulting in many locations experiencing temperatures as much as 10 degrees below normal. Now, we're going to look at the GFS, and we're going to look at the temperature, the 2-meter temperature map. This is 120 hours. And then we go out to 132 hours. You can see some of these areas in the darker purple are showing departures of about 10 degrees or more below normal. This is the GFS. Now, if we look at the Canadian, and this is 132 hours, It's not as impressive with the cold. It has cold up here, but then we go to 138 hours. We see like the cold air that's moving down here, and then again is showing temperatures approaching 10 degrees below normal across this area. Still warm here in the east. So during this forecast period, I am forecasting below normal temperatures across the western states, above normal temperatures here for precipitation, below normal precipitation forecast around this area, and above normal precipitation for this region. Now, for the period November 10th to the 14th, the ensembles are indicating a less amplified pattern. Heights are expected to rise over the west and fall in the east. But as we look at the European model, it kind of shows a little bit of hangs on to the ridge a little bit longer. So we're going to go to the European, and see it has a ridge here. This is on the 5th, and then we go out to 168 hours. And my browser just crashed. But anyway, it holds on to the ridge over the southeast than the other models. And most of our models are indicating a zone of flow. So during this forecast period, forecasting below normal temperatures here, above normal temperatures for this region. For precipitation, forecasting below normal precipitation here, and below normal precipitation across the southeast and lower mid-Atlantic under the upper ridge. So that is a long-range weather forecast discussion for November 2nd to the 14th. Thank you for coming, Jim, on this World of Weather, and have a good day.